Hello and welcome back to TF1C, the Formula One chat. Today we are here to discuss the Miami WSeries Grand Prix. It was a really good weekend overall.
Good first weekend.
We're recording this literally 10 minutes after the second race has finished. Yeah. Thought we'd get a recording in before the F1 stuff kicks off. So yeah, pretty fresh in the memory what's just happened. Well, we usually have to, record a day after it's happened, so we've forgotten everything about it. But yeah, this time actually fresh in the memory. And I mean, it was pretty much as expected. Jamie Chadwick, should have took Powell in the first thing, I think. I mean, to be fair, Marti's lap was good, but then
red flag Fabian
Volven putting in the wall. Yeah, so P2 for her in quali, but then makes no mistake in the race. Back-to-back wins at Miami. That's now 4 wins consecutive. I was going to say on the mountains, but yeah, consecutive for Jamie Chadwick in W Series. It just proves once again she should not be there. She should be in Formula 3. And somebody needs to give her a seat. I just want to preface this, by the way, as well, with that obviously we haven't had penalties and stuff applied to race 2 yet, so there could be some changes. Also, they haven't put out the championship standings just yet, so hopefully they put them out at some point.
Yeah.
While we're recording. But if not, we know Chadwick is top, of course. Absolutely fantastic weekend for her.
Dominating the doubleheader.
Yeah, and no one really looked near her. Powell was the only one that could come close last season. And it was a tough weekend for Alice Powell. P3 in quali, she was on a really good lap before Volven decided that she didn't want to do any more qualifying. But yeah, so she was down in P3, just probably would have got pole without that. And then in the first race, put it in a wall.
Yeah.
Was she racing with someone? I can't. As I said, it was yesterday, so I've forgotten now. But
no, I don't know.
It was like the second lap or something, yeah, and she was in the wall.
Just wasn't great.
Fair sure it was by herself. So yeah, difficult weekend there for Powell. But then in the second race, when we've literally just watched, P3. Which is a lot better, but is under investigation for the incident involving Kymäläinen. I don't think there'll be any action taken. I doubt they'll think.
I think that brings us perfectly on to Emma Kymäläinen.
Yeah.
Bit of a very tough weekend for her.
In my opinion, she's the one that's closest to Chadwick right now, but just nothing went well.
I mean, you think, so the race 1, obviously, safety car came in on the last lap. We had 1 lap to decide it. She was leading, and she ended up P4.
Yeah.
No. She fell right down the order.
I was going to say, yeah, she was a bit lower than that.
Just didn't.
Out of the points.
Yeah.
Yeah, P15. The lowest driver not to
yeah, just
finish the race. Or the lowest driver to finish the race.
Just messed it up, really. Soon as the restart happened, she just fell apart that lap, and sadly for her, she fell right to the back. And then race 2 had very good pace, was battling Marti for second. Marti eventually got ahead, then kind of in a world of her own, just was too far off Marti, but was quicker than Pulling. Quicker than Powell. And she was driving around P3, and then Powell catches up to her on the last lap, on the penultimate lap, and she lost the rear end basically through the corner and slid into Powell, spinning Emma Kymäläinen around and giving Alice Powell wing damage.
Yeah, it was a little bit messy. I don't think there'll be any penalties handed out. There could be, and I think that'd be harsh on Pulling.
It was just bad timing. Obviously, Kymäläinen was defending the inside, but there was just no grip there, and she just lost the rear end and then collided into Powell.
Yeah.
It just wasn't her weekend, which is really annoying because I felt she was really on the pace, and I think she could have brought the fight to Chadwick.
The first race deserved to win it, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it looks completely different. It does look a little bit mental, the championship right now, because Chadwick's top by, loads, because the people that did well in the first race weren't the ones that did well in the second race. Like Hawkins, P2 first race, P11 second race.
Yeah.
Visser came P3. She was like P9 or something in the second race.
P7, I want to say.
7,
P6,
yeah.
But again,
Fair enough, but still not well up there. Abbi Pulling was P4, P6, probably the most consistent. Did really well after a P9 qualifying position. Come back through the grid. Tomaselli, who, did nothing in the second race, did get quite lucky, to be fair, but came P5 in the first race.
She had a right front puncher, and then was
in the second one,
At that point, she was just getting lapped because she was so far behind.
Shame. In my prediction, I said she'd been in a wall because she wasn't great last season, but got P5 here. And then Marti, kind of unlucky, I think, this weekend.
Yeah.
Pole position, absolute brilliant from her.
And she didn't go for line.
But yeah, nothing really in the first race. Ended up coming P6 though, so I think she'll take that. And then P2 in the race today. It's all a bit of a mess our board that we're looking at because some of the results are incorrect because they've been noted down from before the penalties were taken into account. Because I think with this, there's so many. It's so hard to find the official classification.
All junior series, they present you the classification of the race,
and then they do the penalties.
They add a load of penalties on, and then they don't tell anyone.
And then you turn up to the next round like, I'm feeling really confident about championship leaders'
How do you get there,
chances, and then it turns out that the championship leader isn't the championship leader; it's a completely different person. And then I guess we can talk about the rookies as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I think, I don't know how it happened, but Bustamante ended up P9. So scoring the most points out of the rookies. That is a fantastic weekend for Bianca Bustamante. And then P10, Emily De Hoyce gets a point in that first race. And then Chambers' second race, getting P10 as well. They were the three that scored points. Unfortunately, Juju Noda, Babitskova, and that's it, right, for rookies? Yeah. Couldn't score anything, but very strong race for the rookies.
Yeah.
To have 3 of the 5 score points. Anything else we should have? Volvend, I think, interesting weekend. Just seemed very incident prone, but had decent pace.
Yeah. If we're looking at the championship fight, I think Chadwick is very quick, and if I did have to give people who could take the fight to her, I think across the whole season, I think I would say Emma Kymäläinen or Abbi Pulling.
I was going to say, Pulling doesn't really strike me as having the pace to fight at the top, but is very good at staying out of trouble.
She's very
never
consistent.
Gets involved in incidents.
She's very consistent. She's very young, which for me, because she's so young but is so consistent and quite quick, I do think out of everyone, she does have the best chance of progressing into Formula 3.
I was going to say, I think she's...
I think it will be her or Chadwick.
The problem is for Chadwick is she's already 26, 27 now. Pulling's I'm going to check that before I've just
19.
Disrespected her. No, she's 24.
It's not really too far off 26.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not
like really young, but equally it's not.
Pulling 19, right?
Pulling is 19. So I do think there's more scope for her. Because she is only 19, starting
last season.
Chadwick, just kind of unfortunate that she, WSeries was a bit too late in her career. But I do think she deserves a shot in Formula 3 because
definitely
she's consistently the best of this field, and it's not a bad field at all. So I think I just want to see how she's getting on in F3 because I'm really intrigued to see where she'd be.
Pulling last year was
she'd be
part-time for the Puma team. This year is her first full season with Racing X, and so far she's been very quick. Say she has one more season in WSeries next year, she'll be 20, then gets the chance push up.
Yeah.
I think definitely. But then if we're talking about people to fight the front of WSeries, I think Emma Kymäläinen can be up there fighting on the front, but I don't think she'd ever get that move.
The problem is, no one in WSeries is attached to an academy apart from Chadwick. Chadwick's with the Williams Academy, which makes me think that's why she's probably the most likely to get a step up.
Could just be Williams just trying to look.
Because if Williams... Well, no, because Williams have had...
they had also their new person,
Frank Williams' daughter. I've completely blanked on her name now.
Claire Williams.
Of course, yeah. Claire Williams was there for ages.
I forget she used to be a race
And then it was Susie Wolff. They've always tried to bring women into Formula 1. And both of them have actually gone on to become team principal. So Chadwick's got good footsteps to follow in. But I think Chadwick deserves to get a seat in F3, whether she does or not. I don't know why Williams haven't just gone and got her a seat. Because they could. Like, some of the drivers in Formula 3 are shocking.
And the problem is, though, because she hasn't been in F3 or F2, that doesn't mean that means they can't then give her the test drive in F1.
Yeah.
So she can't fill in or do in testing in Barcelona because she has never driven a car that is anywhere near as quick. Because the lap times, I think, WSeries about 30
They were 30
seconds
seconds, I think, off,
F1.
which is pretty mental.
And F3 is about 20, and then F2 is about 10.
Yeah, that's roughly the scores. I mean, F1 is just mental, the pace. I just really want to see Chadwick in F3 next season. But
I do want to see...
I don't know if it's going to happen. And if it doesn't, that's
female driver get the push out.
Stupid. Yeah. I do think, though, blanked her name, Maya. She's a Ferrari Driver Academy. She's decent.
Definitely.
So she can be one.
So I think there's definitely a lot of potential with the young female drivers coming in. And I do think, obviously, eventually we will get a female... Because the goal is, obviously, to get a female driver into Formula 1, the top motorsport. And I do think it will happen one day. I do. And I think, as I said, 2 years, 3 years, I think Abbi Pulling could definitely be an F3.
Yeah, I think the next big steps for WSeries are, I'd say, increase the number of drivers, but that seems to be happening every year, increasing drivers, increasing teams. Because the more people you have, of course, races as well. But I also think the actual timings and the format of the racing needs to be different.
Because it's very FE at Formula 8 at the moment.
I don't like the 30 minutes. It's so short. Nothing happens. Like, the race, I get it. Like, I think, obviously, Chadwick dominating makes it so much more boring. But equally, like, there's not enough time for a real fight.
And also, you don't have to manage the tyres for half an hour.
No.
You can just push flat out, it'll be fine.
We can't really push flat, but you can. It's easily manageable. It's not like you've got to make a pit stop or anything. So there's no jeopardy. So it really does make it quite boring to watch when you've got a dominant leader and a format which I think doesn't really play into an exciting... Right? I do think maybe bringing in a sprint, making the race one a sprint race, and then having a longer race, because we've still got 4 hours till F1 starts at the end of the sprint race. So why couldn't they make it at the end of race 2? So why couldn't they have like a 45 minute to an hour long?
There'll always be ways for it to improve. I do think they've done well this year. That in the last 2 years, though, you think?
I think bringing in big names like Jenna, as much as she's a controversial figure and people aren't too keen on her. Exactly. She does. She is a big name in the whole world.
Last year was the first year that they were a junior series to Formula 1, and obviously this year,
what's it called?
They
already were like a feeder, but it's like a support.
Which means obviously more people are going to watch it, and now that they're actually being broadcast on Sky,
I think that's massive.
That's very big.
Because people that watch racing don't go, let's stick on Channel 4 for a little bit of everyone who watches it either has S1 TV or Sky. So the fact that they're now being broadcast on that in the UK, I think is huge as well.
Definitely. And
the more big brands getting involved. You've got Puma now, you've got Jenna, you've got Bristol Street Click the Drive Motors. So.
I do also like how the two, because what's her name? Naomi Schiff. Obviously, she does presenting for both. F1 recently, and Sky recently brought her in as a presenter, which is great to see.
Yeah.
But I do think WSeries is progressing well. I think it will carry on progressing, and hopefully, we will see female drivers in the top tiers of motorsport.
Do you think we'll see a female driver in Formula 1 by 2030?
Maybe.
Because that's 8 years away. Pulling will be 27. Do you not think Abbi Pulling could make it?
I do think
Maya?
If the young drivers come through now, if they do get the step up early, that will help them progress more and become better drivers.
But even I know there's like some really strong young female karters who are like now 14.
Haven't Red Bull got like a junior?
I think so.
Driver.
Because I know they've got Red Bull now getting involved in karting a lot because they've got Arvin Lindblad, who's just a ridiculous driver. Everyone's predicting he'll be AlphaTauri in 2025, which is crazy because he's still like 14 now.
I think him and Max Verstappen could partner each other because that's ridiculous. That's how young Max is. Anyway, we've gone
very far from.
Where are WSeries next?
I'll just check it quickly. I'm fairly sure it's a while though. Unfortunately, there is such a gap between.
They do 10 races at 8 different venues, and this obviously
They've got 8 rounds. They get 2 at I think this one, and then the final race,
finale
which is just a bit. There's not enough there. They go again at Barca.
Okay, that's quite soon.
So that's the next Formula 1 event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm right
weeks.
there. And then again at Silverstone, which is so they don't do what's between Barca and Silverstone. They don't do
Silverstone's
Monaco
July.
Baku. Okay, and they don't do Canada.
No,
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Canada in that time as well. So yeah, fair enough. And then it's they do France, Hungary, Suzuka, Austin, Mexico.
So again, they don't do anything through August or September.
Or from October into like December, because F1 now goes right into December, doesn't it, with this 23 race calendar. That's the thing. I think that is one side effect people don't look at of the increased calendar, is that now you can get more support series races.
So L&O F2 have got their biggest calendar ever this year, so have F3.
And so have WSeries. I do think the increasing of the calendar does help the junior series.
Definitely.
But that's where we're going to round up today. It was an alright race. But I do think, for the factors we've discussed, there were a few issues with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I personally enjoyed it. I'm excited to see what it has in store next. I think I'm not too much of a fan of the Spain track. And to be honest, I think Miami's a disappointing opener because it's not a great track for overtaking.
It's always not great to start your season with a track that has never been done before.
Yeah. Yeah, they basically just wanted a big, oh, look, it's Miami.
Imagine we start the season in Saudi Arabia. Take out Bahrain. Last year. Imagine last year we started in Saudi. That'd be mental.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, that's, I think, where we're going to call it.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting weekend. Yeah, as I said, I don't have high hopes for Spain, but I think Silverstone will be a good race.
Yes.
I think Silverstone will be a very good race. But yes, if you have enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment, give your thoughts on the race, who you think is going to win the championship, who you think could make the step up to F3 next season, the season after, stuff like that. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.